Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, going to go over our GoPro mounts, what we've learned. We've tried all the different spots on the helmet. We've tried on the helmet, we've tried, up top here. It doesn't really give you a good view. You kind of lose sight of the front of whatever you're riding, whether it be snowmobile or dirt bike. It just doesn't, I don't know. I think the best view is underneath the helmet right here. We've tried there's the GoPro mount that clamps to the front of the helmet right here. But the problem with that one is two things. It stays on there pretty good, and then there's like a lanyard that you can put on so that in case it does fall, you don't lose the GoPro. But when you put your head down, the GoPro kind of hits you in the chest. If you're on like a street bike or something where you're not looking around a lot, like we are on the snowmobiles and dirt bikes, it probably would be okay. But we just found that the best spot is right here under the visor. The gotcha is that, yeah, you could mount it off to the side. You could put the GoPro sticky off to the side and then do like a swivel mount or whatever they call it. But then the GoPro ends up in your field of view down in here. So what we're going to do is, I got the sticky already on this little clamp here, is we mount them right in the center of the visor like this. Okay. And I've tried to use the JB plastic weld, and literally within the first 30 seconds the thing came off and I lost the GoPro. I lost the GoPro, lost the media mount, so that's what we use for the good audio because it's got that external mic on there. And then also you've got some connections for like I think a 3.5 millimeter audio jack. So that's what we use here, right? So, and I'll put the links to what we purchased. So obviously that goes into here, right? So anyways, I'll show you how we all mount it up. But what we do is on this visor, this is a 6D helmet. This one, we're going to drill a hole through this, and we're going to attach it right to here. So nut and a bolt, we don't have to worry about coming out. So 6D, that'll work fine. The gotcha is on the new 509 helmets, look how pointed it is, right? So now, when you go to mount this thing, right, you have like that gap. So Matt, Muskoka, Freerider Films, he says he uses shoe goo to stick it up in there. I'm too scared. I can't take a chance of losing another GoPro. It's just too expensive for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make something that goes in there, kind of fill that void hopefully. Then I'm going to run a nut and a bolt right through the visor. And then I'll show you how I'm going to do that. But that seems to work the best. Older generation 509 helmets actually had a GoPro mount right in the center here. But again, I just feel like that doesn't provide you a nice field of view. You can't see the sled or the dirt bike that you're riding. But hopefully this video helps someone. I'll show you how I wire up the mic and everything. So follow along. Hopefully this helps someone else. All right, so I took a piece of slider. So like just cut it with a grinder. Cut off wheel, grinder. Cut a little square. So what we're gonna do is, because that 509 helmet is so angled, I'm gonna just kind of shape this with the angle grinder so that, see the angle there? Shape it so it kind of fits up in there. All right. So that way when we put this in here, it doesn't bend the visor so much. So hopefully that works. Follow along, see if it works. Wasn't very smart shooting stuff right in my face. So as you can see, I'm trying to angle it. It's gonna take me a bit, but. So I use the belt sander mounted in the vise here. It's gotta be safe, right? Just kind of holding it, hitting the trigger. Completely safe, right? But that's how I've been shaping that little piece to get it close. So after much grinding and sanding and belt sanding and grinding and belt sanding and sanding, kind of got it shaped. So I got it stuck on there right now. I had to do some angles. There, it's kind of like tapered. Anywho, 509, if you're watching this, if you could come up with something that makes it easier to mount a GoPro to the visor, that'd be appreciated. Even if it's like a little attachment or make the visors flat, but we would appreciate it greatly. So now the next thing we're gonna do is, now that we got this piece shaped, it's gonna go in there. I'm gonna drill a hole down through, put a nut and a bolt on there with some washers, maybe even paint the washers a little bit. So let's see how this goes. So I'm at the stage where I'm gonna drill a hole in the visor. So I do recommend taking the visor off, but before you take it off, put your mount on there so you know where it is and kind of trace it with a Sharpie. So as you can see, I took the visor off, and you can see that's where my GoPro mount's gonna go. There, right? So it's gonna be somewhere in there, right? Pop a hole through there. You want the GoPro probably about, let's say, 1/2 inch to 1 inch from the actual, this part of the helmet. So that way you can adjust the angle a little bit. And then, you know, if you need to get your goggles on, you can. So after you got your hole drilled, you're gonna wanna use a washer. You know, obviously it's plastic, if you will. And you're gonna wanna bend the washer. Right, can you see that right there? Oh, there we go. Bend the washer so that it bends around the helmet. I gotta bend it some more, but I wanted to show you what I was doing. So how I was bending the washer is I take it, I stick it in the vise like that, and then I just use some pliers to bend it over and just shape it. So that way it's the right angle. So that way it kind of sits kind of sort of flush. Got to paint them up nice, you know, match the helmet. So as you can see, I painted the washer. Okay, bent it a little bit using the vise. Just use like a round head like that so it doesn't stick out too far and look like a sore thumb. Then we got our little spacer in there in between the GoPro sticky and this little angle here. And then we got the media kit on there. All right, and then that's where it plugs in. And then you run the audio cord down through here. Just got to wire it up there. And then there's the 509 helmets have like a little, protected from the wind, I guess, in there. So the cable is actually wound up in there. On my helmet, this is what I've been running. Don't have any problems. My beard doesn't even get caught in there, which is cool. But back to the mount setup. Probably could have came out a little bit further. You know, it's probably a little close. I try not to come too far out because you don't want like the too much weight. The more weight you have out here, the more it like pulls down on your helmet. It squishes your nose. All your goggles do, or your little protector there, wind protector. But this is cool having it set up here because you can actually like flip this up, hit the record, you can make sure it's recording, and then just flip it down. And then I know that usually right about there is a good angle. So I just want to show you what that looks like. Again, with that nut and bolt in there, as you can see, up in there, there's the nut. No washer on that side. But yeah, that works pretty good. I haven't lost one yet, so I wanted to show you guys how we have ours set up. Hope it helps.